Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by, thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. We have all seen by now, for those who scroll through social media a lot and for those who tune in to what's taking place especially on the YouTube channel, we've seen where Sir P did two videos. He did one about Ibrahim Traoré, and he's the president of the Burkina Faso, and he did a follow-up video, and basically he's saying that Traore is subordinate to another white country or another superior nation, and two in particular, and that's Russia and China. So all the things that people are putting out on social media talking about Traore made vehicles or invent vehicles or created vehicles or revamp a new type of vehicle out there that's a hybrid or whatever the case may be, it's false and misleading. He also spoke on Traore signing a deal with Russia to give them 85% of their gold in exchange for security, in exchange for, I guess, jobs and what have you that is provided for in the country. So he wants his life protected and a safe passage in his country to maintain his sovereignty in Burkina Faso, because there's a rival, which is the jihadist or a Muslim group over on the other spectrum of Burkina Faso that has occupied roughly around two-thirds of the country. And there is an issue because there's been many uprising, there have been many persons who have lost their life because of this Muslim group. I will not call them terrorists because I don't know in fine detail. I'm just paraphrasing and I'm summing up the entire video of what it's about. So there is this rival group who wanted to control the gold, and they don't believe in certain leaders or support them, and so their mandate is to take out whoever they believe is working in oppose of the government, or in oppose, of the system of governance for the people of Burkina Faso. So he's basically saying that Ibrahim Traoré and the whitewashing that they're putting and glorifying him as a savior and as a liberator of Black and African people for the sovereignty of Burkina Faso to remain as is, and also for them to control their own country. It's a farce, and it's a propaganda that was made by Russia and China. And really what is taking place is that Russia has cemented their foot in Burkina Faso and has secured deals that benefit Russia in and of itself and stuff like that. Many persons are chiming in and they're venting their disdain for Sir P Politricks Watch video. They're saying, it's controversial. He's a sellout. He's not a good person. The things that he's saying is really hateful. And, it's very distasteful that he would come up with something like this. And so it is creating an unease in the Jamaican space based on the fact that there's been a protest at the American embassy. And so because of that, with the notion of the liberation of Burkina Faso in support of Ibrahim Traoré. And so they believe, Jamaican space that is, believe that Sir P is in grave error and his argument is not true. So many persons have been, venting their disdain on social media. I won't upload any of the video clips or snippets of what people are actually saying because I have no interest in wanting to post anything that is very demeaning and disrespectful. I'm not on that platform, and I am not about that at this moment. I'm sorry, guys, I was reading something. But my question to Sir P and Politricks Watch was, what was the significance of doing a video on Ibrahim Traoré and sending out this message? I mean, I get that you probably want the information to be out there so that people can know what is actually taking place. But my question is, besides it being general knowledge, what was the significance of putting it out there? And the tone in which you use was offensive to many persons. They took it, the Jamaican space took it as an offense based on how it was delivered. The connotations and the adjectives that were used to describe the Jamaican people in support of Ibrahim Traoré, it is creating an unease for the mass of the people. And because of such, that's where the disconnect is. Now, I'm not saying that you couldn't have been truthful, and I'm not saying that your argument is not true and the groundbreaking information that you divulge is not true. My question is, what was the significance of it? Not only that, what was the reason for delivering the message in that kind of way? I'm sure there are ways that you can divulge an information when it's frightening, when you are the bearer of bad news, if that's who you choose and that's the element that you're going for and that's the energy that you're pulling. The bearer, I'm sure that there is a way that you could have delivered the message without using certain connotations that would have come off and create an unease in the atmosphere for the many persons who are in the Jamaican space. Let's say all things are equal and your argument is true. My next question to you: how would an African nation like Burkina Faso be liberated in itself, having some sort of independence and total autonomy with the resources that they have, which is natural resources, which seems to be unlimited, but also the resources that they lack, which is machine power and more so well-trained people who move in unison, who are able to liberate their country? How else would it have worked? We have seen so many over the years. We have seen so many African nations over the years who have tried to liberate their own people, so many over the years. And they have been taken out because many rebels from different nations have decided that they don't want that individual to be a part of their leadership in their country. And because of such, those persons were taken out. We have seen so many. We have seen the Chadian president, the former president. We have seen that's Francois Tombalbaye. We have seen him. He was taken out by rebels. And these are military trained individuals who took him out because they did not want him in their country. You understand? They did not want him as a leader. I'm getting somewhere, guys. Just give me a moment. I'm pulling up on my research so that persons can know what exactly is it that has taken place over the years. And so, with that being said, we have to question how else would the liberation of Burkina Faso come into play from all superpowers that have them under some sort of control, under some sort of suppression, limitations, when it comes to them expounding on their own sovereignty. We've seen Cyprien Ntaryamira, that was a former president of Burundi. He was also assassinated just the same. So these are individuals over the years who have ruled in many African countries, and they have tried to liberate. A lot of these people are Marxists. They believe in the philosophy of Karl Marx. Tombalbaye was one of them. He believed in the philosophy of Karl Marx, you understand. Cyprien Ntaryamira was one of them also, who believed in the liberation of the people of Burundi. And these individuals were taken out. They don't have the resources of machine power, advanced weaponry in record numbers to protect themselves. Because remember, what is used to advance them and to make these type of equipments, there are limitations. They don't want it in the country, meaning that superpower nation, other nations out there, they don't want those type of equipment in the country for those people to use to advance themselves to make the weaponry, such as uranium. They don't want it in the country because it would give these individuals an opportunity to do what? To protect themselves. And so with no form of machine power and there's limited manpower, wherein the nation can protect itself and withstand superpowers that are outside encroaching on their independence, their sovereignty. How else would Burkina Faso, and I'm just speaking from a hypothesis. So I'm saying basically, let's say all things are equal and Russia indeed had a deal with Burkina Faso to get 85% of their rare earth, which is gold. And the people of Burkina Faso would only benefit 15% in exchange for security, in exchange for securing jobs, and also other things that may be facilitated in the country of which they would need. I'm asking the question, how else would it have worked for a country that has limited resources when it comes to machine power and also equipment that they would need to advance themselves? Pharmaceuticals also, these are places that are known to have outbreaks every now and then. You understand? And so I'm asking the question, how else would an African nation advance itself without someone helping them in 2025? These are countries known for every now and then having a civil unrest where many lives are being lost. You understand? So that is my question to Politricks Watch. Now, if we look into history, and we're going way back up to the 17th century in Haiti, where there was Toussaint Louverture, also known as the founder of the way. Toussaint Louverture had side deals with France because they won the battle offhand, but nobody is mentioning that France actually returned to Haiti. So you won the battle on land, but they were not about to win the battle on seas because France realized by then that they don't need to go on the land in order to win the battle. They can stay out of sea. And their idea, their agenda was to sink the landmass of Haiti. And so Toussaint Louverture decided that he's going to sign a deal with France at the time so that the people would remain liberated. The people would remain liberated on the island of Saint-Domingue. So at the end of the day, there has to be a meeting of the table because these are superpowers who simply do not stop. They don't stop. And because they don't, there has to be some sort of agreement and meeting at the mind, or you turn to an external super nation so you can get some sort of support. Yes, it may look like what they call swapping black dog for monkey or swapping monkey for black dog and something. But if you're dealing with two evils, what are you going to do? At some point, you're going to have to pick the lesser of both evil. So if Burkina Faso is dealing with something that was had them under suppression and subserviency, I'm sorry, for quite some time, and here lies somebody handing them trinkets and saying that this is what we can provide for you in exchange that you do this for us, we can get other people to back off, providing that this is what you're going to give to us. You understand me? I am saying, what else would there be on the table for Burkina Faso? That is my question to Politricks Watch. Because based on what I am seeing, it seems to me that he is ostracizing and he's berating Ibrahim Traoré. He's trying to make him look as if that is just another puppet and is just another person who is like, the Batista of Cuba. He's making it seem as if it's that type of individual who is just there, or Aristide somewhat, who is just there to be subservient to another white massa. And, you just hand over everything in your country because you have nothing else to offer and stuff like that. And you have no value to the world and they don't see any value in you as a people. And because of that, then you just hand over 85%, of your rare earth to Russia in exchange for some security. My question is, name the next offer that would be on the table. See a country to move forward. That country has to have some sort of independence, in state independence, in the people, liberation of the people. You understand me? And not only that, you have to be able to secure what? Health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, maintenance of the country, advance in technology. These are things that are needed to move the country forward. And if the country is found lacking,
And everywhere they turn to do trade, it's a trade wherein they won't benefit, or there is a mother country that they were subservient to for centuries, and that is a country that's not never doing much for them other than taking their rare earth. Whenever someone is elected in power, they form a coup or they pay off another a rebel group to overthrow and to assassinate the ruling individual. Then if there's another option that is on the table that can secure the advancement of the nation.
Yes, so I was saying, if the nation is trying to secure themselves where not just security is concerned and advance themselves with machine power, but also where health, education, infrastructure, technology are concerned, and that's the route that is facilitated for them, or the option that they have given with what they have dealing with and what they have for themselves. I'm sorry, but Sir P. Politricks Watch, you are wrong. There isn't much that they can do. They have to work with what is available in front of them. So if you are going to see that and say that he's a puppet, he's trying to move his country where the people can feel as if there is some sort of liberation that they have. He's trying to move the nation forward. And I get that you are looking at everything to say that it's propaganda and it's not real and it's not this and it's not that. I get what you're trying to say, and it's to improve, because basically what you're trying to say is that it's a marketing tool for Russia because people will buy their gold. You understand me? Because knowing that this is a man who had liberated Africa or liberated Burkina Faso in quote and make it total independence, you understand me? And have expelled external superpowers from other nations that were there. It will be better for many persons who want to invest in Burkina Faso for not only their gold but other resources that they have available. So you're saying it's a propaganda tool. But guess what? Major corporations do this. The very United States do this. So I'm trying to find out what's the big issue here. You understand me? If it's saying that, okay, it's one white massa to the other white massa, here lies a country that doesn't have it. They don't. So what do you suggest that they do? For African nations to pool their resources and work together, there has to be first and foremost the security of the nation. If the country cannot protect itself, it cannot withstand any superpower that decide to what? Superimpose their fundamentals on them. Because the next thing that's going to happen is them invading the nation, and you will not have the ability to protect yourself or to defend itself. So I am sorry. I don't know what's happening, and I don't get the significance of Sir P divulging this information, and he's calling people silly and this and that and all these type of things. I think he was in grave error. You're not right at all time. And I think this is a very grave error that you have made, and the way how you have delivered it, Sir P, I think it was very poor in taste. It was rather distasteful. It's leaving a bad taste in people's mouth. There's something called the harsh reality, and there's something called, unnecessary. It's unnecessary. I just think it's totally unnecessary, and it was uncalled for. And there's a way that you can speak the truth also, if such is the case and you wish to inform the public that they are gravely misguided and stuff like that. There was a way that you could have put it out there for them to understand or for them to accept or eat it without using certain caustic words and adjectives that you use to describe the Jamaican space while giving them this information. Because many persons who were supporting Burkina Faso are educators. Everybody is not illiterate. There are many persons out there who are actually supporting the nation. So it's very unfortunate the way how the message was, and that's the reason it's leaving a bad taste in people's mouth. And many persons are venting their frustration and their disdain and saying that they don't like you and they don't like the way how you behave. I think one of the things that I've observed with Politricks Watch is that he has he wants to be right at all time, and he likes grandizement, wherein he's adorner saying he's the first to do this, he's the only person to do this, he's the best person to do this, and you understand me?
I mean, they say self-praise is no recommendation, but you have to, you have to glorify yourself, which is true. But at the end of the day, at times you're not always right. And sometimes the delivery could be the issue. You understand me? I think also the delivery was the main thing that many persons are having an unease with. But that's all I have to say about it. I'm just questioning. If you look back in history, of which I've pulled Haiti as a prime example, I've put what took place in Chad, what took place in Burundi. You understand me? Well, it wasn't in Burundi at that time. I think it was actually in Rwanda that the plane had exploded with Intari Amira. You understand? And I'm thinking that these are leaders of African nation who were taken out. You understand? And they came with ideologies to super advance the nation, of which the people did not accept. And not the mass of the people, that is, other groups did not accept. And these people, and all of these rebels are paid people to take out individuals. We had Guy Philippe of Haiti. He wanted to take out Aristide just the same, overthrow Aristide. So we have seen these things over the years in many countries. So what do you work with? What do you suggest that Burkina Faso work with? That's my question. And what's the significance of delivering the message, especially in the nature of how you did it? But that's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day. May God bless you. Bye-bye.